Like I mentioned before, the first step that you want to do is go to FASFA.gov. When you go to that website, the first thing you're going to see is Get Help Paying for College. That's what financial aid is all about. It's helping you pay for college, and then right in the center there's a big button that says Start Here, and that's where you click to begin the application process. And the first four things that they're going to ask for is your first name, your last name, your social security number, and your date of birth. And that's it. That's all it takes to get started with your financial aid process. Once you start filling that information out, it's more demographic information about you. Where did you go to high school? What is your address? What is your phone number? What is your email address? And that's all there is to it. If you filed a tax return or didn't file a tax return, and what was your income for the prior year. That's all there is to filling out the financial aid application, is simple questions like that. If you answer questions a certain way, the Department of Ed's created skip logic where you don't have to answer all the questions that maybe your friend or a parent may have had to answer. It'll know in advance and give you only those questions that pertain to how you answered the other prior questions, so you're not confused. So after you enter your first name, last name, social security number, and date of birth, then it's going to take you to the next screen. It's going to ask you what award year do you want to apply for. You can apply for the current school year or a future school year. And if you filled out a FAFSA before, there's a FAFSA renewal button. If you click on that, your prior information will be pulled up and you just renew your application. But for you brand new beginners, all you'll need to do is hit the Start New FAFSA button. And that's it. The next step is they're going to ask you for a one-time password that you're going to create on the computer, and it's only for this session, or if you have to leave or you don't have all the information, you have to stop. This one password is going to allow you to go back in and start where you left off. So it's very important you remember that password. And then from there you'll go to an introduction page, and there's some helpful tips on there. How do you complete your FAFSA? How many steps does it take to complete? How long? So how many actual steps does it take you to complete your FAFSA? There's actually 7. 2 of those steps is the confirmation that you actually filled out the FAFSA. Another step is signing the application and submitting it. You may ask, well, how do I sign the FAFSA if I'm doing it electronically? What you do is you sign the FAFSA by creating a 4-digit PIN number, personal identification number. Every student and a parent will need one when you sign the application, and you get it immediately when you apply for it. If you've already applied for financial aid and received a PIN number, you use that same PIN number. If your parents have gone on to college and applied for financial aid, they will use that same PIN number as well. Don't worry if you forgot your PIN number. There is a retrieval process that says, I forgot my PIN, how do I access it? You click on I forgot my PIN, and it'll take you through the proper steps where you can activate, you can change your PIN or retrieve your PIN online instantly on the screen. Once you go to the next, it's going to start asking you about your demographics, which is your name. It's going to confirm your name. You want to confirm your social security number. You want to put in your middle initial at this time. Are you male or female? And you're going to put your permanent mailing address. You want to make sure you include an apartment number. You also want to include an address where you know you're going to get your information through the mail. It's going to ask for your phone number and your email address. It's very important that you put an email address on here if you have one. If you do not have an email address, I encourage you to go online and get a free email address for financial aid purposes only. Then once you're enrolled in school, you will get a district email at the school that you're going to, and you want to change your financial aid, your FAFSA results to that school email, because the Department of Education is going to email you your results if you provide an email address. You'll get it in less than 4 business days if you provided your signature with a PIN. If you do not provide an email address, you'll get your information through the mail through about 4 to 6 weeks. That's a long time to wait on your status of your financial aid. But once again, if you provide an email address, you'll get it in less than a week. 5 business days, you'll have the results of your FAFSA. That is fast service for you. So you want to know your information right off the bat, and you want to provide that email. It asks about your marital status. That is your marital status as the day you're filling out the form. You want to go ahead and put that. If you're getting married in the future months, you do not put that date. You put the day you're filling out the FASFA. And it's legal marriages only. Common law marriage is not recognized in California, so therefore if you're not legally married, you would have to put single on the application. But if you are married, you would put the date, the month and year you were married. Then it's going to ask if you have a driver's license number. If you do not have a driver's license number, you would simply put no and put your California ID number on there. And then you move on to the second step, student eligibility. It's going to ask you, are you a U.S. citizen? The second option is no, but I'm an eligible non-citizen. And the third option is no, I'm not a citizen or eligible non-citizen. If you select yes, I'm a citizen, you're going to move on to the next question. If you mark no, but I'm an eligible non-citizen, it's going to have you input your alien registration number. It's very important that you put all the digits of your alien registration number in there. It's called your A number. If your alien registration number is only 8 digits long, you want to make sure you put a 0 in the remaining 8 numbers. You do not want to put a 0 at the very end. If you mark no, I'm not a citizen or eligible non-citizen, you cannot apply for federal or state aid. However, you want to go to the financial aid office because we may have additional scholarships that you may qualify for, or additional programs that you can qualify for and help you with some financial assistance. And the next question is going to ask me if I have a high school diploma or GED, or if I was homeschooled or none of the above. Make sure you choose the appropriate item. If you mark none of above, don't be alarmed, because if you have passed a GED, taken the proficiency exam, that qualifies as equivalent to receive financial aid. Or if you still do not have a GED, homeschooled, or none of the above, you can take what's called the Ability to Benefit test at our campus, and if you pass that test, you'll be eligible for financial aid. If by some chance you do not pass that, if you go and take 6 units and pass those 6 units that is going towards your degree with a C or better, you'll be able to qualify for financial aid the next semester. So don't be alarmed if you don't have your high school diploma or GED certificate. There are still options for you. You still want to apply for financial aid, and you want to, if you're confused on any of the process, you still want to go into the financial aid office and ask any questions. The next question is, what will your grade level be for this school year that you're applying for? If you've never attended college before, you're going to put never attended college first year. If you attended college but you do not have over 24 completed units, you're going to put attended college before first year. And then so on. You're going to put second year if you're a second year student, third year, fourth year, and so on. The next step is going to ask what will be your degree or certificate you'll be working on. Your options are first bachelor's degree, second bachelor's degree, associate degree for a technical or occupational program, associate degree for general education or transfer program. Then the next ones are certificates for occupation or technical programs of less than 2 years or at least 2-year programs, a teaching credential, graduate professional degree, or other undecided. If you're starting out and never attended college before, you want to stick with the first bachelor's degree, the associate degrees, or other certificates or diplomas. Those are for students that have not received a bachelor's degree yet. Your bachelor's degree is a 4-year degree. The next question is going to ask, are you interested in being considered for work study? I encourage students, if you're thinking about working, I would select you're interested in work study. Work study is a form of financial aid that will help you through school as a form of resource. Students, the majority of students work on campus. You get good work experience. You don't have to travel on and off campus. And you're on campus where if you have a break for 2 hours, you can come and work for 2 hours and then go right back to class. And you're paid once a month, like a regular paycheck. The next question then after that, will you have your first bachelor's degree before July 1 of that year? Yes or no? Majority of you are going to say no. The next 2 questions are going to ask, what is the highest school your mother and father completed? You're simply going to put middle school, junior high, high school, college or beyond, or other unknown. If you do not know, just simply put other unknown. But try to answer this question as best as you can. If your parents went on to high school but not receive a high school diploma, they're going to mark middle school or junior high. If your parents went on to middle school, junior high, but did not get their junior high diploma, you would go ahead at that point and mark other or unknown. If your parents went on to complete a college degree, a 4-year college degree or beyond, they would simply mark college or beyond, and that's how you answer those questions. Then the next question is, have you ever received federal student aid? Yes or no? And you would simply just answer that. And that's financial aid, what they're talking about at a college. So if you received other federal aid somewhere else for other programs, the financial aid office is only pertaining to any federal student aid while going to higher education. Then the next question, if you mark yes, it's going to ask, have you been convicted of possessing or selling illegal drugs for an offense that occurred while you were receiving financial aid, grants, loans, or work study? You would just simply answer yes or no. Don't be alarmed if you answer yes to that question. It's not going to stop you from receiving financial aid. If you happen to mark yes, the computer will take you to another step of questions and you'll go from there. But it will not stop you from receiving financial aid. Every student is a single case-by-case basis. So don't be alarmed. Go through and follow through the process and don't stop right there. Then the next step is just simply adding the school that you want to go to. Whether it be Laney College, whether it be Berkeley City College, College of Alameda, Merritt College, or if you want to go to another college, you just simply put in that school code and list whether or not you're going to be living on or off campus or in the dorms. If your campus does not have a dormitory, you would simply mark off campus or with parent. And it's as simple as that, and then you just move on to the next section. The next area within the 7 steps now is the dependency status. There are going to be a series of questions asking you yes or no questions. If you answer no to all the questions, you are considered a dependent student and you must include parents' information. If you happen to mark yes to any one of the dependency determination questions, you are considered independent and parents' information is not required. Now, there are some areas where you're going to be stuck on whether or not to answer yes or no, where you're wondering if it doesn't apply to you. There's also helps and hints to the right side of the financial aid application screen that'll walk you through on how to answer these questions. But if you happen to answer no to all those questions, you don't live at home with your parents and you have a unique situation, that's called a special circumstance or professional judgment. And it's going to ask you, do you want to provide information regarding your parents? Yes or no. If you cannot provide information on your parents, you're going to mark no. And it's going to ask you another 2 times, are you sure you cannot provide parents information? Keep answering no, and what's going to happen after that, it's going to send a flag to the financial aid office. That flag is going to let us know that we have to send you a dependency override application and go a different route with you. Well, you'll need to get additional documentation and explain to us what is your special circumstance. And those are reviewed on a case-by-case basis. So don't be alarmed, don't get stuck if you answer no to all those questions and you can't gain your parents' information. That is considered a professional judgment special circumstance. Once again, if you have any questions, contact the financial aid office. The financial aid office should be your friends. That should be a familiar place for you to go. Our job is to help you receive resources and obtaining financial aid to help you succeed in school. So utilize us and ask us for help whenever you have questions. Now moving on, you simply just continue on through dependency status questions, and if you listed parent information that you're going to provide, you're going to include their information on the application. If you did not provide parent information, it's going to ask you information about your income, whether or not you worked. If you didn't work, you're simply going to put, I'm not going to file a tax return, and you're going to put any income that you earned the year that you're applying for financial aid. If you did work and file the tax return, what you can do is you can go through the IRS retrieval process, and it'll be on the screen. If you filed your application electronically, your IRS 1040 tax return, you'll be able to retrieve your information and you won't have to provide any tax documents to the financial aid office. That is a big plus. A lot of times parents are hesitant to turn in their tax returns with their students. A lot of times students come to school, it's in their backpacks, it has sensitive information on there. But if you put IRS retrieval, you won't have to submit the information to the financial aid office as long as you don't change the IRS data. It'll streamline your process. It's less documentation we need to take in at our office, and it'll help speed and expedite the process of your financial aid application. So utilize that retrieval process. After the financial aid information, your parents' demographic, your financial information, your parents' financial information, you simply at that point sign the document. That's where you can go online, put your PIN in there, your personal identification number, or if you do not have one, if you forgot it, you can go online there, click the appropriate button, put in your PIN number, and submit your application. Once you submitted your application, it's very important you see the confirmation page where it says, "Congratulations, you successfully completed your FASFA." This is your confirmation page. Do not stop until you see that page. You're going to see your estimated financial aid based off the data that you provided of what you possibly can qualify for going full-time to college. So it's very important you see that. You're going to see important information regarding graduation rates, retention rates on there as well that you want to pay close attention to. If you're deciding on what colleges you're going to, those might be the deciding factors that you might have on those percentage rates. At that point, you're done submitting your FAFSA. You wait. If you provided an email address, less than 5 business days, you'll have your student aid report back in your email box in less than 5 days. If you're one of those that did not provide an email, you're going to receive your results back in about 4 to 6 weeks, paper student aid report. Once your financial aid application is processed, the colleges that you list on your FAFSA will get the results in their computer systems. And that's when we'll start contacting you, letting you know we have your results. Read that letter very carefully and follow the instructions. It's going to let you know what you need to do, your next steps in completing your financial aid application at the college that you plan on attending.